Previously, after defeating several ant monsters, the Korean S-rank hunters continued deeper into the tunnel. They soon reached a large chamber filled with ant monster eggs. Hunter Cha noticed one egg that was much bigger than the others and already hatched. Min Byung-gu, the healer, panicked, wondering what kind of terrifying creature could come from such a huge egg. Yoon-ho, the team leader, tried to calm him down, reminding everyone that their main mission was to kill the Ant Queen and not worry about anything else. However, Yoon-ho couldn't shake off the uneasy feeling about the giant egg. Outside the ant nest, the Japanese team Charlie was fighting off ant monsters. Kenzo, who was injured, grumbled in pain, and Shimizu, the team's healer, offered to heal him, but only if he agreed to a condition. Before Kenzo could answer, something terrifying happened. In an instant, Shimizu's head was cut off by a mysterious creature. Kenzo and Tatsumi froze in shock, and Kenzo quickly warned Tatsumi to stay alert. The creature moved fast, and before they knew it, Kenzo's head was also severed. Tatsumi tried to fight back, but was killed just as quickly. Within seconds, Team Charlie was completely wiped out in a gruesome manner. Meanwhile, inside the ant nest, the Korean team faced the Ant Queen's royal guards. Ma Dong-wook, the tank of the team, used his shield to block the ant attacks while Hunter Cha swiftly killed them with her sword. From behind, Byung-gu reminded them to completely destroy the ants' limbs to stop them from moving, as simply crushing their heads wasn't enough. Byung-gu then cast a powerful protection spell on the team, boosting their strength and defense. With the buff active, the team felt more confident, knowing that one hunter could now take on 10 ants without getting hurt. Outside, Team Delta from Japan went to check on Team Charlie after losing contact with them. When they arrived, they saw signs of a brutal battle. Yepe, one of the hunters, found Tatsumi's broken glasses and the horrifying remains of Team Charlie. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Suddenly, Kei, who had a strong sense of smell, caught a foul and terrifying odor. Before they could react, a powerful and terrifying creature appeared in front of them. Panicked, Kei used his ice magic to create a thick ice wall for protection. But the creature easily shattered it and killed Team Delta within seconds. Back in the ant nest, the Korean team finally reached the Queen's chamber. They saw the massive Ant Queen guarded by 8 powerful royal guards. Ma Dong-wook quickly made a plan. He would distract the Queen while the rest of the team dealt with the royal guards. Everyone agreed and prepared for battle. Choi Jong-in, the mage, unleashed his full power, summoning a massive fire dragon. He admitted that he usually holds back in fights, but this time he was giving it his all to finish the mission as quickly as possible. The intense battle against the Ant Queen and her guards had begun. As the battle continued, one of the ants suddenly attacked from behind. Luckily, Tu reacted quickly and killed the ant just in time, saving his teammate. Yano then stepped in, transforming into a powerful white tiger. His body grew larger, his armor broke apart, and his sharp claws appeared. With his beast instincts, Yano swiftly tore through 2 ants with ease. Hunter Cha watched in awe, amazed by Yano's incredible transformation. Ma Dong-wook quickly snapped Hunter Cha out of it, reminding her to stay focused. Hunter Cha then stabbed her sword into the ground, activating her provoking quake skill. A wave of magic energy spread from her sword, slowing down the ants within its range. Seeing the chance, Ma Dong-wook charged toward the Ant Queen, grabbing her attention. His shield glowed brightly as he bravely faced the powerful Queen head-on. Meanwhile, in the broadcast room, the news anchor asked the cameraman to get a closer shot since the viewership had increased by 80%. However, Min Byung-gu quickly pulled the cameraman back, warning him that the battle was getting too dangerous, and his safety couldn't be guaranteed. He told the cameraman to stay behind him as things were becoming more serious. The live stream of the raid was being watched by almost everyone in South Korea. Even an elderly grandmother watched with excitement, cheering for the hunters. The news anchor reported that the hunters had already defeated most of the royal guards, and only 3 were left. Once those were gone, they could focus on the Ant Queen. The broadcast team was thrilled, and the TV viewership shot up to 85%, breaking their highest record. They were proud, believing that South Korea could now stand alongside powerful countries like the US, Russia, China, and France in completing S-rank gates. Back at the battle, the hunters had now surrounded the Ant Queen, preparing for their final attack. From a distance, Tu fired a series of magic arrows, hitting the Ant Queen's head and causing her to stagger. Yano, still in his beast form, slashed at the Queen's legs with his sharp claws. Furious, the Ant Queen spat venom from her mouth, hitting both Yano and Madang Wook. However, Byung-gu quickly stepped in, using his healing magic to cure them instantly. Smiling, Byung-gu confidently said, "If you really want to defeat us, you should have aimed that attack at me." Realizing the threat, the Ant Queen then shifted her focus toward Byung-gu. Madang Wook quickly raised his shield, blocking the Ant Queen's attack. Jong-in then stepped in, telling everyone to back off. He unleashed a powerful fire spell, setting the Ant Queen's body ablaze. Seeing the Queen struggling, Yano felt victory was close. Jong-in prepared for the final strike, launching a massive fire blast that completely engulfed the Queen. But just when they thought it was over, the Ant Queen let out a loud, piercing scream. A powerful wave of energy burst from her body, forcing the hunters to take cover behind Madang Wook's shield. Yunho quickly realized that the scream wasn't a death cry. It was a call for reinforcements. Meanwhile, on the warship, Sugimoto panicked, noticing all the ants were flying back toward their nest. He informed Ryuji, who was shocked to realize that the noise-jamming device had failed. Looking up at the sky filled with thousands of ants, Ryuji was horrified, wondering what had gone wrong. Back at the ant nest, Hunter Cha acted fast. Without hesitation, she slashed the Ant Queen's neck, finally killing her. She felt relieved, thinking their mission was complete. Tu then wondered if South Korea had now joined the 7 nations capable of clearing an S-rank gate. But Yano quickly interrupted, sensing that something was wrong. Moments later, Madang Wook received an urgent message from the association. They reported that the entire ant army was heading back to the nest, meaning the Japanese hunters might have failed. Panic spread among the team as they realized their time was running out. At the same time, Choi Jong-in noticed his flame prison skill had been destroyed. Suddenly, the atmosphere grew cold and heavy. A terrifying, dark aura filled the air, freezing everyone in fear. From the shadows, a massive black ant monster emerged, walking toward them with an overwhelming presence. The hunters stood still, realizing they were now facing something far worse than the Queen herself. The terrifying creature was the Ant King, a huge, muscular ant with black armor, sharp claws, and 4 clear wings. Its presence alone was enough to make Hunter Cha tremble in fear. The smell and pressure from the Ant King was so intense that she couldn't even stand properly. As the Ant King walked past the hunters, Madang Wook felt his bones shaking, as if they were being crushed by the creature's powerful aura. The Ant King stopped next to the dead Ant Queen, pausing for a moment as though filled with rage. Suddenly, it released a powerful burst of energy, so intense that all the hunters dropped to their knees, unable to move. Before anyone could react, the Ant King moved at lightning speed. It appeared behind Cha Hai-in and punched her so hard that she crashed into a wall, coughing up blood. Madang Wook screamed in horror seeing Cha injured, but before he could help, the Ant King was already standing in front of him. With one powerful strike, the Ant King broke Madang Wook's shield and shattered his left arm. When Madang Wook tried to fight back with his right arm, the Ant King grabbed it and crushed it effortlessly. Yano, seeing this, transformed into his beast form and attacked from the side. However, the Ant King easily slashed him down within seconds. Jong-in then cast a huge fire spell, but the Ant King dashed toward him and knocked him out instantly. Tu tried to attack from a distance with magic arrows, but the Ant King caught them with its bare hands and crushed them without any effort. In the blink of an eye, the Ant King rushed toward Tu and hit him hard, sending him flying. Just when it seemed hopeless, Ma Dong-wook managed to get back up and hit the Ant King with a powerful blow, pushing it back slightly. He confidently shouted that as long as they had Baek Yoon-ho, they still had a chance. Meanwhile, Baek Yoon-ho activated his camouflage skill, making himself invisible and completely undetectable to the Ant King. This skill was perfect for a healer, allowing him to stay hidden and keep his teammates alive. But the Ant King was too fast. It quickly dodged Ma Dong-wook's attacks, grabbed his leg, and slammed him into the ground repeatedly. Ma Dong-wook couldn't handle the force and eventually lost consciousness. The hunters were now in deep trouble, completely overpowered by the Ant King. Suddenly, the Ant King turned its gaze toward Bwang Yu, the healer who was using his camouflage skill to stay hidden. Seeing the Ant King looking at him, Bwang Yu started trembling in fear, wondering if the creature had somehow detected him. Yano quickly warned Bwang Yu to stay hidden, but it was too late. The Ant King moved lightning fast and stabbed Bwang Yu with its sharp claws. Yano screamed in shock, calling out Bwang Yu's name. In his dying moments, Bwang Yu told Yano to run and save himself. But before Yano could do anything, the Ant King grabbed Bwang Yu's head and devoured it alive, leaving everyone horrified and speechless. Yano, filled with rage, transformed into his beast form and attacked the Ant King. However, the Ant King easily overpowered Yano, grabbing him and strangling him until he transformed back into his human form. As Yano struggled to breathe, he suddenly heard Bwang Yu's voice from inside the Ant King's body, warning him to run away. It was then that Yano realized the Ant King had a terrifying ability. By eating its prey, it could absorb their strength, memories, and knowledge. This made the Ant King even more dangerous. Suddenly, the Ant King spoke, asking Yano, "Who is your king?" Yano was confused and couldn't understand what the creature meant. Meanwhile, the other Korean hunters were gravely injured and barely holding on. Only the cameraman was still unharmed, recording everything. Suddenly, the Ant King sensed a powerful presence outside the nest. Without hesitation, it spread its wings and flew away, leaving the hunters behind. Yano realized that the Ant King was now heading outside to hunt Goto Ryuji, the strongest Japanese hunter. He knew that this was their only chance to escape. However, their nightmare wasn't over yet. Hundreds of soldier ants had now returned to the nest, ready to attack them. The Korean hunters knew they had to find a way to escape quickly, or else they would all be devoured. Outside the nest, Alpha Team, led by Goto Ryuji, was still searching for the missing Japanese teams. They had no idea what terrifying danger was now headed their way. Ishida started to panic when he couldn't contact Charlie and Delta teams. Goto Ryuji, the leader of the Japanese hunters, figured that something was blocking their communication. He asked Bravo Team if they were still alive. Bravo Team confirmed they were fine and asked if they should look for Charlie and Delta. Ryuji told them to stick to their mission and meet up with Alpha Team later. When Alpha Team reached the last known location of Charlie and Delta, they were shocked to find both teams dead, their bodies horribly torn apart. At that moment, Ryuji received a call from Matsumoto, the chairman of the Japanese Hunter Association. Matsumoto coldly stated that he didn't care about the deaths of the Japanese hunters. His main goal was to make sure the South Korean team was destroyed. He ordered all Japanese hunters to retreat immediately. Following orders, Ryuji quickly told his team to retreat, but before they could leave, they were attacked. Ryuji reacted fast, blocking the strike with his sword. However, to his horror, the attack instantly decapitated Ishida, shocking everyone. Realizing how strong the enemy was, Ryuji ordered Hashino to escape and join Bravo Team. Ryuji decided to face the monster alone so that no one else would get hurt. As Ryuji unleashed his full power, he finally came face to face with the Ant King. Trying to stay confident, Ryuji taunted the Ant King. But to his shock, the Ant King suddenly spoke and asked if Ryuji was a king. Ryuji was surprised that the Ant King could talk, but confidently replied, "Yes, I am a king." However, things took a horrifying turn when the Ant King unleashed a powerful aura far stronger than Ryuji's, making him feel a deep fear. a fear he hadn't felt since his encounter with Jinwoo. Without warning, the Ant King rushed at Ryuji, shattering his sword and beheading him in one swift strike. Goto Ryuji, Japan's strongest S-rank hunter, was completely defeated without even standing a chance. Meanwhile, the Korean team was still fighting off the ants, even though they were badly injured. Yunho asked Choi Jong-in to increase his firepower to keep the ants away, but Choi warned that if he did, they might run out of oxygen in the tunnel. However, the team had no choice but to rely on Choi's fire magic to survive. As Choi started to get exhausted, and the ants kept closing in, suddenly a shadow warrior appeared and stopped the ants from attacking. Yunho was shocked, wondering who this Black Knight was. It looked familiar. It turned out that Jinwoo's shadow warrior had been hiding in their shadows the whole time to protect them. The shadow then sent a signal to Jinwoo, who was still in the city. Realizing that the team was in grave danger, Jinwoo immediately used his skill return, teleporting himself straight to the ant nest. At the same time, a cameraman was terrified as two huge ants rushed toward him. Just when he thought he was about to die, a sword suddenly pierced both ants, saving his life. The sword belonged to Igris, one of Jinwoo's most powerful shadow soldiers. Back in Korea's broadcasting station, the crew was about to shut down the live broadcast after witnessing the Korean hunters struggling for survival. They started receiving angry calls from viewers who were horrified by what they saw. The broadcast chief was about to give the order to stop when suddenly a crew member noticed a new figure appear at the raid site. Shocked, the chief ordered the cameras to keep rolling, realizing that Korea's fate might depend on this mysterious hunter. Back at the ant nest, Jinwoo had now arrived, standing calmly but determined in front of the hundreds of ants. He summoned his shadow army, ready to fight. Jinwoo then called out for Iron, one of his most powerful soldiers. Iron immediately activated his taunting cry, provoking all the ants to attack him. Jinwoo smiled, impressed by Iron's intelligence, then drew his Demon King's dagger. In an instant, Jinwoo moved like lightning, slashing and killing multiple ants with just one quick move. Meanwhile, Tusk, his shadow mage, activated a magic barrier to protect the injured Korean hunters. The battle had now shifted in Jinwoo's favor, and it was clear that the tide was turning. Ma-Dong-wook was confused, not understanding what was happening. Yano explained that now that Jinwoo was here, they didn't have to worry anymore. Meanwhile, Jinwoo was moving super fast, slashing ants one after another without stopping. Next to him, Igris was showing off his deadly sword skills, taking down ants with perfect accuracy. Iron was going wild, smashing ants without mercy, and Tank was swallowing ants in large chunks. As the battle continued, Jinwoo realized he needed to end this fight quickly. Standing among the dead ant bodies, he calmly said, "Arise." Instantly, the dead ants turned into shadow soldiers, standing up with a dark, scary aura. The cameraman, who was capturing everything, felt a chill of fear seeing this happen. Seconds later, he received a direct order from the broadcasting station to air the footage live, as the whole country was watching. The newly created shadow ants attacked the remaining ants without hesitation, slaughtering them mercilessly. Jinwoo then approached the injured Korean hunters and handed them healing potions. The hunters were stunned, watching their wounds heal instantly, as if it was some kind of magic. Jinwoo checked on Hunter Cha, who was badly injured and unconscious. Ma-Dong-wook looked worried, but Jinwoo admitted that his power wasn't enough to heal her completely. Knowing that more ants could arrive any time, Jinwoo ordered the Korean team to leave the nest immediately. Suddenly, Jinwoo felt a terrifying presence approaching. It was the Ant King. The Ant King walked in, mumbling something about looking for a king. Yano was shocked, realizing that Go Gunhee Ruji must have been killed by the Ant King. Jinwoo stepped forward, telling Ma-Dong-wook to take care of Hunter Cha while he faced the Ant King alone. The Ant King stared at Jinwoo and asked, "Are you the king of humans?" Jinwoo smirked and sarcastically replied, "Since when did bugs start talking?" The Ant King then released a powerful and scary aura, trying to intimidate Jinwoo. But Jinwoo simply grinned and said, "Now you really look like a bug." The intense battle between Jinwoo and the Ant King was about to begin.